High Representative of the EU for Foreign Affairs Kallas stated that any decision by Europe to ease sanctions on Syria will depend on the approach of the new Syrian administration toward governing the country. She emphasized that Damascus must initiate political reforms and include all segments of society in the process, particularly women.
Sanctions that are hindering the build-up of a country and access to banking services and all these things. But of course, it has to be a cascade with the conditions. If we see the developments going to the right direction, we are ready to do the next steps. But also, it has to have a fallback position. If we see that it's not going to the right direction, then we can also move back on this.
The new Syrian leadership plans to adopt a new constitution and hold elections in the near future. Turkey was among the first to express support for the new Syrian authorities. Turkish Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan stated that Ankara would assist Damascus in restoring relations with the international community. Turkey is also ready to help Syria combat terrorism and stabilize the country.
We see that the Syrian administration has an agenda that aims to end the occupation and terrorism created by the YPG in the region, among other steps it will take to ensure its own national integrity, unity, solidarity, political integrity and territorial integrity. We believe that they should be given an opportunity to implement this. This is what we are currently waiting for.
Meanwhile, German Foreign Minister Annalena Baerbock has advocated for partly lifting sanctions on Damascus. However, she stressed that restrictions must remain on those who committed serious crimes under Bashar al-Assad's regime. She called on EU countries to support stability and ensure a peaceful transfer of power in Damascus.
Sanctions against Assad's henchmen who committed serious crimes during the civil war must remain in place. But Germany proposes to take a smart approach to sanctions, providing repeat relief for the Syrian population. Syrians now need a quick dividend from the transition of power.
As the EU prepares for the Syria summit on January 27th in Brussels, Saudi Arabia has urged European diplomats to lift sanctions on Syria and support the country's economic recovery. In early 2025, the US Treasury relaxed some sanctions on Syria following the overthrow of Assad's regime. The Biden administration withdrew a $10 million reward offered for capturing Syrian opposition leader Ahmed al-Shara, who is now the de facto leader of Syria.
The US Treasury issued a general license lasting 6 months that authorizes certain transactions with the Syrian government, including some energy sales and incidental transactions. The move does not lift sanctions on the nation that has been battered by more than a decade of war, but indicates a limited show of US support for the new transitional government, from a statement by the US Department of the Treasury.
The US, UK and EU imposed sanctions on Syria after Bashar al-Assad's brutal suspension of pro-democracy protests in 2011. Restrictions also targeted the faction led by Ahmed al-Shara, which came to power following Assad's overthrow, as well as some opposition leaders linked to al-Qaeda. Ahead of the meeting of EU foreign ministers, the European Union will evaluate the steps taken by Syria's new government, Kallas noted. Reported by Katerina Bastun, KD, UATV News.